Hello, welcome back, my favorite movement enthusiast, to the final core exercise video you'll ever need, at the very least until you become very much advanced. Before we get into the core exercises that we can do at home with zero equipment, let's just go through the exercises that require equipment or a gym, just so we can move on from those. Starting, of course, with any kind of strength training, be it deadlifting, doing farmer walks, or squatting really heavy. There is no compensation for lifting heavy weights that require you to brace your entire core in a single movement, and that requires you to protect your spine and to protect your body by bracing your core entirely. Next up, we have all kinds of hanging compression exercises. Now, those not only require a lot of grip strength, but they also need to engage your entire core, especially if you're doing things like active hangs, like knee raises, like extended leg raises, or even skin the cat. We need a lot of core strength to increase the compression that we have, or the spinal flexion. Now, of course, requiring a lot of strength, control, and mobility to move and reverse those movements. To get into the progression for this one, you can start with knee raises or single-sided knee raises if both legs are too hard. That's what she said. Then we can move on to extending our legs a little bit more and raising them only parallel to the ground. Moving to raising our feet all the way. You can even work on single-sided leg raises as well. Now, one of the best bonuses here, other than the grip strength increasing, is that we are gonna work a lot with our hip flexors and quadriceps as well, combining all the musculature around our core that intrinsically works with the rest of our abdominal musculature. Now that we've worked on the equipment requiring exercises, we can move on to ground work, starting out with compression exercises, meaning exercises where we change between a neutral and extended spine into a flexed spine, bracing our core and flexing our abdominals. Now, I want you to keep in mind before we start that spinal flexion, or the rounding of the back, is only a part of what our abdominals do, which is why we're gonna have different sorts of exercises as we progress. Now, these are, while not the most effective, they are the easiest to replicate. So anything from crunches to sit-ups to laying leg raises where we round our back will lead to the same flexion in our spine and compression of our abdominals. So I don't think we have to talk a lot about those exercises. So let's just take a minute to talk about static exercises versus dynamic exercises. Now, the dynamic ones are all the exercises where we are in constant movement, as opposed to the isometric or static exercises where we hold a specific position for prolonged periods of time, holding a flexed position or holding a flexed status in our musculature. Since I am a very big fan of the whole holistic training thing, I would recommend combining static and dynamic exercises for all of your core work, especially because your core has so many different important functions, like protecting your spine, like keeping your body upright and functional when moving, when sitting up, laying down. All of those movements require core strength and core stability. And the stronger your core gets and the more stable your core gets, the better it will be for all kinds of exercises that you do, be it calisthenics, be it lifting, or whatever you feel like doing sports-wise. Variations can range from classic plank holds to hollow plank holds to levered plank holds, and all kinds of variations that are probably endless. We have side planks, we have low planks, we have high planks, we have asymmetric planks, and all kind of stuff we can learn from, play with, and find what suits our training methods the most, or what we find to be the most fun. Which moves us to the main exercise routine for today, which will be the LSIT, or mastering the LSIT. So let's check it out and go through the progression. End results should be on your fingertips, legs completely extended and back neutral, at the very least semi-neutral. So no flexing forward, no leaning backward. Over time we will get there. But how do we get there? Because the LSIT is somewhat of an advanced exercise. We have abdominal strength requirements. We have arm strength requirements. We need stronger hip flexors and quads as well to be able to extend our legs fully and to hold them in place. So we can start out by just leaning back with the easiest exercises first. Pull your knee in, extend it, and switch to the other side. That's level number one. Level number two, pull in both legs and extend. Now, the further you lean backwards, the easier the exercises will be, especially for your lower abdominals and for your hip flexors. So the more we move forward, the harder those exercises will be. Now that we've pulled in our legs bent, we can start by raising the legs. If raising both legs is still too far out, we can start with one leg, then both legs. Then we're gonna include static holds. First with our hands, then without our hands. Then we can start by pulling in our legs, extending them slowly, leaning forward and reversing the entire movement. We have compression, we have a little bit of a stretch in our posterior chain when moving forward, which is always a good bonus to have. And then we can start raising our upper body and doing all the levels once more. Pull in like so, raise like so, and then you can start raising both legs for half a second, sitting down. Raising both legs for half a second, sitting down, and then over time increase the difficulty. We can also just raise our upper body and start with static holds for one side, static holds for the other side. So now we have at the very least a dozen different exercises we can use as a progression for the LSIT, and we want to end it all in the complete LSIT on our fingertips. Next up, we have full body movements like animal movements, for instance. Now, you don't have to be crawling through the entire gym if you don't want to, or if you don't have an outside place to work in, but you can hold specific animal movements or poses statically. For instance, a static crawl, maybe on both feet, maybe on one leg, maybe going low to the ground. The same goes, for instance, the starting position for the lizard walk. The same goes for getting into the ape-like movement patterns, where we move laterally, left side, right side. We can simply hold, just holding the deep squat like so with a braced core will already be a very nice exercise to build at the very least some static strength as well as some base strength that you might need for other exercises. But if you want to see the efficiency of animal movement patterns and have some of them that are the most effective, check out this video where you can go through all of these exercises step by step. Now, for the final part of the core exercise routine, or our core exercise workout, whatever you want to call it, will be rotational exercises, because our core is intrinsically connected to all the rotational mobility we have in our upper body as well as in our lower body. So going through rotational exercises, be it beginner or easy ones where you lay down on the ground and just move your legs from one side to the other, keeping your shoulders on the ground for maximum effect, left side, right side, or even extending those legs and moving from one side to the other, making the exercise the tiniest bit harder, will be a very nice addition to your core workouts. But I am more of a fan of including complete rotational movements in a single exercise. For instance, starting out here in our deep squat position, we will move into complete spinal rotation, not only stretching our obliques, but also using our upper body strength to turn us into those different positions like so. Now we have a stretch and strengthening routine in a single movement or a single drill, combining mobility and core strength as well, including our hip flexors and upper leg musculature, because they all work together as we mentioned before. Other rotational exercises, for instance, would be turning in our hips sideways and reverse, sideways and reverse. The amount of ab exercises, even the rotational ones, are infinite, which means that even if you don't like any of the exercises that we checked out today, I am pretty sure you will find at the very least an ab workout that you will enjoy that covers most of these steps. To reiterate, number one, we have strength training, which will be invaluable in building that strong and indestructible core. After that, we have hanging exercises, which will combine grip strength as well as spinal and joint decompression, because we're hanging with all kinds of abdominal strength movements, knee raises, leg raises, skin the cat, all this stuff that you can play with and find out what you enjoy the most. Then we have compression exercises, the ones that we worked through before, like sit-ups or crunches, that will work you through spinal flexion from a spinal neutral or an extended position, meaning just folding forward. After that, we have a complete LSIT progression, because the LSIT is, in my opinion, the most important exercise to work on, because it combines so many things that have to do with core strength, that just working on this through a beginner-friendly progression will be taking up most of the time for your core exercises, as well as building the most strength and control required for more advanced calisthenics or lifting work. And last but definitely not least, we have rotational exercises that start combining more of our obliques and spinal erectors with our core musculature, so we can build not only a strong core but a stable core as well. Sadly, however, my friends, this is all the time I have left for you today. But if you like the video and subscribe and check out other videos, because we have new ones on this channel every single day. And I will see you tomorrow. Captain Cairo, peace out.